Hey guys, Dr. S here. A little tardy, but I have a valid excuse because I literally just walked in my house from an 11 and a half hour trip. This is how dedicated I am. So people may or may not pop on because I did not post about tonight's Word of Mouth with Dr. S because I wasn't really sure if I was going to be able to do it this week because I'm traveling. I didn't necessarily want to cancel it. You know, it was going to be last minute. Either the cancellation was going to be last minute or popping on to do the live was going to be last minute. And so it worked out. I was able to get in my house and get situated relatively in time to do Word of Mouth tonight, since it is the first Thursday. Pretty sure it's Thursday. First Thursday of the month. So if you have notifications set, hopefully they go. Maybe you just, are just sensing in your spirit that Word of Mouth is happening. And so I'm here. So Dr. is here, dropping nuggets you didn't know you needed. And as always, it is my hope and prayer that they will help you be your best you. I just want to mention a couple of things again, maybe as people are joining, popping on, maybe I will even share and tag some people, just again, because I did not do my usual reminder, all of the good things that are usually going on when I go live. So if you have some time, hang out with me. I am again going to tag some people. Feel free to do the same. Yeah, it is what it is. At any rate, I just hate that I keep saying So let me just tag a couple more people, and then I'm going to go ahead and get started with tonight's Word of Mouth. And if you are popping on, please say hey so I can say hey back. Just a few quick little things before I get started. The first issue of BLAZZIN is available at drsha-lai.com. Just click on the tab that says BLAZZIN to read that first inaugural issue. Our next issue is coming out in July. I'm super excited about that, and the people who are going to be contributing to this upcoming issue and our upcoming theme. It's going to be great. Love letters to our sons, still available. It is June and Father's Day is fast approaching us. Every man is someone's son, and all of our sons, regardless of their age, need to be reminded that they are loved, that they are important, to affirm them. So this book of 30 Days of Affirmations is something that I think will be an excellent gift for anybody, your own son, regardless of their age. If they're grown, your husband, your father, your uncle, your nephew, your godson, your grandson, your pastor, the neighbor down the street. It's a perfect purchase, investment, seed sown into any of their lives. And so if you're interested in getting your copy of that, you can get that at drsha-lai.com/shop. And then the last thing that I want to mention before I get into tonight's Bible study, which will probably be kind of abbreviated because I'm rushing, is my birthday party. My 50th birthday gala is coming up at the end of July. My birthday is August 1st, but I'm having my party July 29th, and everyone is welcome, men and women. So some of my homegirls are like, it's going to be a girls' night. I'm not telling Bae. Some of them are like, I will bring a +1. However you need it to look. I am cool with that. You must RSVP, though, by July 8th. So if you are a person who's like, Dr. S, I'm coming through, great, RSVP. Because if you don't RSVP, you cannot get in. And I would love to have an accurate head count. We're going to have food and dessert and DJ and dancing and pictures and all of the things. So I definitely want you all to be there, near or far. I want you to come. So be sure to RSVP for that by July 8th so I can see you in the place. So let's get to tonight's word of mouth. If you have been watching, then you know that this quarter, yes, I did. Thank you so much. And hey to you. Is All the King's Men. So hopefully you've been keeping up with us. If you haven't, you can go check out the last 4, I guess, episodes. Is that the right word to use? For All the King's Men. We've talked about David, Saul, Solomon, and Hezekiah. And so who we're going to be talking about tonight, we're actually doing a twofer. We'll be talking about 2 kings tonight because they are kind of a yin and yang, of kind of the same thing. And so I want to mention them. Also, the first quarter, we talked about the Real Housewives of the Bible. So if you missed any of those, and I don't remember who all we talked about, Abigail, Orpah, some more folk, if you remember, type it in. But those are also really, really good, if I do say so myself. So go check them all out. You can watch all the replays on YouTube. So if you just Google Dr. Sha-Lai on YouTube, you can find that channel. Be sure to subscribe, by the way. And then you can watch them all there. So tonight, as we talk about All the King's Men, I want to talk about 2 kings who are listed in 1 Kings chapter 12. So again, because I'm kind of running around like a chicken with a head cut off, I don't have like all my usual notes and stuff. So I have like the Bible verse pulled up on my computer, my notes written down real here. Just bear with me. Love on me because I need a little bit of that right now. So I'm going to read some of the scriptures and then I'm going to tell you what I'm thinking. So in 1 Kings chapter 12, it says, Rehoboam went to Shechem, where all Israel was gathered to make him king. When Jeroboam, son of Nebat, heard of this, he returned from Egypt, for he had fled to Egypt to escape from King Solomon. The leaders of Israel summoned him, and Jeroboam and the whole assembly of Israel went to speak to Rehoboam. So I'm going to stop right there. So you may remember when I talked about King Solomon that at some point in his story, yes, girl, fresh off the road, like came in and was like, let me put my stuff up. I got to do it. Like I just didn't feel right not doing it. So Solomon made a lot of good choices. But we also found out that he made poor choices in that he made a decision to go a-whoring, as the Bible, if you read the King James Version, after women and wives and concubines who were not of the children of Israel. Because of his disobedience, because of his sin, the Lord said, I am going to strip the kingdom from you. But because I love your daddy, King David, I'm not going to take all of the kingdom from you, so you can keep Judah. You can keep a little praise. Benjamin decided to hang out with Judah. So Solomon's lineage began to rule over the kingdom of Judah, while Solomon's servant, Jeroboam, was told by the prophet that he would get the other 10 tribes of the other 10 tribes. So that was the children of Israel. So where we're picking up is when this split has happened, King Solomon has died. Jeroboam had run off to Egypt to hide while King Solomon was still alive. He dies. Jeroboam comes back. He's talking to the new king of Judah, Rehoboam. Why they got similar names, just bear with me. So that's where we are picking up. Rehoboam is hanging out in Shechem. They're making him king. Jeroboam comes to see about him. So we pick up here, and Jeroboam and the whole assembly of Israel is saying to Rehoboam, your father, Solomon, was a hard master, they said. Lighten the harsh labor demands and heavy taxes that your father imposed on us. Then we will be your loyal servants. And I'm reading in the New Living Translation. Rehoboam replied, give me 3 days to think it over and then come back for my answer. So the people went away, right? So sounding reasonable. They come, they ask a question. Apparently Solomon was a taskmaster that we didn't maybe know about. Jeroboam and them, like, hey, let's work together. Like, we are still all family. We're still all cool. Let's work together so we can be at peace. Rehoboam's like, let me think about it. Come back in 3 days. So then King Rehoboam, I'm in verse 6, discussed the matters with the older men who had counseled his father Solomon. What is your advice, he asked. How should I answer these people? The older, wiser counsel replied, if you are willing to be a servant to these people today and give them a favorable answer, they will always be your royal subjects. So let me just interject right here. Depending on how you read this and depending on if you go and look up these words in the Hebrew, servant, you're like, okay, they're saying I'm the king. You're suggesting that I be their servant, bow down to them, be lesser than them, those kind of things. And then they'll be my loyal subjects. But that is not necessarily what the word servant means. It's basically, and somewhere in my notes, it's basically where they will be working together. It's not necessarily that King Rehoboam would have been bowing down to King Jeroboam. It would have been, they would have been working together. So the older, wiser counsel who has been around for a minute, who provided, we're going to assume, wise counsel to Solomon is like, hey, be servants to those people and they will be your loyal subjects. They will, be forever grateful, work well together, all of those great things. Verse 8 says, though, but Rehoboam rejected the advice of the older men and instead asked the opinion of the younger men who had grown up with him and were now his advisors. What is your advice? He asked them. How should I answer these people who want me to lighten the burdens imposed by my father? The young men replied, this is what you should tell those complainers who want a lighter burden. My little finger is thicker than my father's waist. Yes, my father laid heavy burdens on you, but I'm going to make them even heavier. My father beat you with whips, but I will beat you with scorpions. First of all, why we gotta be so extreme? Why we gotta be so extra? Why they couldn't have just been like, no, I don't think that's a good idea. But they went over, above, and beyond and was like, not only are we going to say no, we're going to say, oh, you thought you had it hard? Oh, you thought it was rough? You thought my daddy gave you a hard time? Let me show you something. I can do him one better. Let me show you. So here's one of the things I want us to take away. Because we, from this lesson, are learning, right, from zero to just ridiculousness. What I want to take away from these kings, King Rehoboam and Jeroboam, we're going to talk about Jeroboam in a minute. Lessons learned from new kings. So when you get your new role, your new title, your new leadership position, hey, Naja, these are some quick lessons, quick nuggets you can take away. The first one is use wisdom. When you are newly appointed, fill in the blank, king, supervisor, manager, praise and worship leader, head usher, new postman, postwoman, flight attendant, whatever. When you are newly assigned, newly appointed in your role, use wisdom. King Rehoboam is the son to the man that we consider the wisest man ever. He got his wisdom from God. We're going to assume, taking some liberties here, that his counsel also had some wisdom. He starts off strong. Let me go talk to them. They provide what I would consider a reasonable suggestion. Let me make myself a note real fast. And he's like, nah. Let me go talk to my friends. Let me go talk to the people who have the same amount of lived experience that I have. Now, that's not to say that young people don't have wisdom. That's not to say that young people can't make smart choices. That's not to say that, you know what I'm saying, we're just writing off young people. In this particular case, though, his homies, who he had newly appointed, are like, yeah, let's rise up. I feel like we got something to prove. I feel like we need to, you know what I'm saying, come at them strong. I feel like we need to let them know we ain't no punk. So they go, as Drea said, from zero to abuse for really no reason, but kind of a reason, which I'll come back to. First nugget. When you have this new position, this new title, this new role, use the wisdom that is provided to you. So let's say you're new on your job. You're in a new position on your job. It's somebody there who's been there longer than you. Ask them the secrets. Matter of fact, probably talk to the custodian. Talk to the housekeeper. I mean, you can talk to the supervisor too. But the cafeteria worker, they know the real secrets. They can give you the real wisdom. That's a free nugget. Talk to the people who've been there so you can glean from them. So you're not recreating. You don't have to recreate the wheel. And you don't necessarily have to talk to people who are right there at your level who may not give you sage advice. They may not give you sage wisdom. Okay? So, keep going down. So now I'm going to pick up at verse 12. 3 days later, Jeroboam, and all the people returned to hear Rehoboam's decision, just as the king had ordered. But Rehoboam spoke harshly to the people, for he rejected the advice of the older counselors and followed the counsel of his younger advisors. He told the people, my father laid heavy burdens on you, but I will make them even heavier. My father beat you with whips, but I will beat you with scorpions. So the king paid no attention to the people. This turn of event was the will of the Lord, for it fulfilled the Lord's message to Jeroboam, son of Nebat, through the prophet Ahijah from Shiloh. So this is the caveat that I wanted to mention. Rehoboam, similar to Pharaoh in the days of Moses, his heart was hardened, and part of the reason why he made the decision that he made was really not even his own consciousness or even that of the young advisors. It was so that God's word that had already been prophesied, if you go back to 1 Kings 11, that had been spoken, that word had gone forth. So for God's word to go forth, that is in part why this turned out the way that it is. So I want to say that. So when you read this, you're like, well, I mean, I should use wisdom, but God said, yes. In this case, for this particular story, for this prophecy to be made manifest, Rehoboam's heart had to be hardened. So there may be times when people come at you. So maybe we flip the switch, right? People come at you and they are coming at you in a way that you're like, wait, I don't understand why you're coming at me so strong. Maybe it is for some prophetic reason. We don't know. God is omniscient. We are not. He knows everything. We do not. His ways are higher than our ways. So it's things that are working out that we don't understand. So that is possible. And when you take on a new role, I would still encourage you to use the wisdom of those that are around you. Okay? Lessons learned from new leaders, new kings. So going on here, verse 16, when all Israel realized that the king had refused to listen to them, they responded, "Down with the dynasty of David. We have no interest in the son of Jesse. Back to your homes, O Israel. Look out for your own house, O David." So the people of Israel were returned home, but Rehoboam continued to rule over the Israelites who lived in the towns of Judah. So remember, two separate kingdoms, because Solomon made poor choices. God took the kingdom from him, left him Judah. Benjamin stayed alone, and then the other 10 are hanging out. They're considered now the children of Israel, or the tribe or the kingdom of Israel. And that is who Jeroboam is ruling over. So verse 20 picks up, and it says, when the people of Israel learned of Jeroboam's return from Egypt, they called an assembly and made him king over all Israel. And so only the tribe of Judah remained loyal to the family of David. So I want to go down a little bit. And here we have in verse 25, Jeroboam became king. God started a whole new lineage because of Solomon's disobedience. Here where I'm going with this. Because of Solomon's disobedience. In verse 25, Jeroboam then built up the city of Shechem in the hill country of Ephraim, and it became his capital. Later he went and built up the town of Peniel. Jeroboam thought to himself, "Unless I am careful, the kingdom will return to the dynasty of David. When these people go to Jerusalem to offer sacrifices at the temple of the Lord, they will again give their allegiance to King Rehoboam of Judah. They will kill me and make him their king instead." Now, God himself, through the prophet, told this newly appointed king, "I got you. I'm giving you 10 of the tribes. You're going to rule on them. Your descendants will be the rulers of this particular nation. I got you." God said it. But Jeroboam started thinking, and how many of us don't know our thoughts, if we let them spiral out of control, become stinking thinking, and then we down a rabbit hole and stuff that makes no sense, makes perfect sense to us. Something that is contrary and not the will of God, we like it's a revelation. It's an epiphany. This is what I should be doing. God said, "I'm giving you the kingdom." Jeroboam said, "If I let the people that God gave me just worship freely and have to go to Jerusalem, because Jerusalem is in Judah, then they're going to forget about me. They're going to forget that I am king. They're going to forget that they just appointed me as king. And then they're going to kill me. Not only forget that I'm king, they're going to kill me and then go back and start worshiping over there. So let me see what I can do for that not to happen." So what does he do? He doesn't build another temple to Jehovah. He does not try to create a new Ark of the Covenant and a tabernacle in Shechem where they can come. This is what he does. Verse 28. So on the advice of his counselors, please get you some wise counsel. On the advice of his counselors, the king, Jeroboam, made 2 gold calves. He said to the people, "It is too much trouble for you to worship in Jerusalem. Look, Israel, these are the gods who brought you out of Egypt." Say what now? Pretty sure that's not what happened. Pretty sure when God was like, "Tell this story repeatedly. Tell them I did it." Tell them the God of your ancestors delivered you from Pharaoh and his army and parted the Red Sea, and you came across on dry land. And in fact, pretty sure Moses got mad when Aaron made a cat, and now you made not 1 but 2, and said that that's who brought you out. Oh, Jeroboam, what happened? The God of the universe picked you, appointed you, equipped you, set you, and in your wisdom, you decided that this is what you was going to do. Lessons learned from new leadership. Do not make the same mistake of your elders. Do not do the same dumb thing. So we have Rehoboam over here who is ignoring wise counsel. You got King Jeroboam over here talking to people who aren't wise. Heed their advice, but they're not wise. And they're telling you to do the very thing that ended up getting the kingdom split in the first place. Idol worship. What? This how we starting? This is the split. This is what we working with. This is what we dealing with. This is what we doing. If you go on in verse 12, you will see where he not only, Jeroboam, not only made the two calves, told the people this is where they need to worship, had people just coming. In verse 30, it says, and this became a great sin, for the people worshiped the idols, traveling as far north as Dan to worship the one there. And then he erected buildings at the pagan shrines and ordained priests from the common people, not even the Levites. He was doing too much. He instituted a religious festival in imitation of the annual festival of shelters in Judah. Like all of this stuff he was doing. He offered sacrifices he was the most Jeroboam, who got the kingdom from a king who did idol worship. Lessons we can learn from new kings. The two nuggets I would like y'all to take away from this lesson on all the king's men from 1 Kings 12 is, in your new role, your new position, your new title, whatever, use wisdom. Use the wisdom that God has planted around you. It could be a person. It could be, obviously, the Bible. It could be a man. If it is wisdom, use the wisdom. Don't necessarily run to the people that you're comfortable with, the people that you were running with, the people who are going to be like, girl, just cuss them out. Not them people. Talk to people who are going to tell you to pray and use, I want to say common sense, but sometimes common sense ain't common. People who are going to give you decisions, offer suggestions that are going to lead you to the feet of Jesus. Wise counsel. Okay? The second thing is, don't make the same mistakes. When you get this new role, when you get this new position, when you get this new title, and again, not just spiritual things, just y'all know my nuggets are life lessons. This new thing, don't make the same mistakes as the people who came before you. Don't do that. I know. King Rehoboam probably thought the same thing. I want to blaze my own path. I want to do my own thing. But I did a message at some point, I don't even remember when, and it was called, Is life experience really the best teacher? I think not. I think people who have lived life can be the best teachers. If they have insight, if they have knowledge, if they have the code book, it is no need for you to go out here stumbling, falling, skinning knees, doing the most, when you could have just, you go this way. Take this path. Oh, do it this. Oh. And then I can be leaps and bounds because you gave me the cheat code. Come on, y'all. So, those are the things I would like you all to take from this very rushed, slightly unorganized word of mouth with Dr. S. The word is still good, even though my presentation's a little less than it usually is. So I encourage you all to go and read for yourselves 1 Kings 12 and see what nuggets you pull from it. See what else you can grab from it. Those are the 2 that I got. There's always more. And especially depending on where you are in your life right now, it may speak to you differently. And if it does, come back and comment and let me know. I would love to hear your thoughts. So in 2 weeks, there should be another word of mouth. I'll be traveling again, but I'm gonna figure it out because it's just too good to not do. And we will finish all the King's Men, and then I will be looking forward to the new series, the new quarterly series that is going to start in July. I already have a topic in mind because God is good and he just be like doing all the stuff. So I'm looking forward to sharing that one with you as well. So if this blessed you in any way, shape, or form, let me know. Share it with somebody. Tag somebody that you think like, didn't you just let me watch this, read this chapter. And then be sure to check out BLAZZIN. The first issue is available. drsha.com. Be sure to order your copy of Love Letters to Our Sons, regardless of age. So I'm telling you, so you want to have it in your library. You want to sew it into someone's life. And in fact, I'm talking to the men, but I've had women who have purchased it, and they're like, I needed this. So listen, ladies, if you need a copy, you need some affirmation. You need to be affirmed in some way, shape, or form, and reminded that you are loved and special and anointed and called and equipped, and you got this. Get you a copy too. Hit me up, drsha.com/shop for that. And then again, 50th birthday gala. Listen, I'm so stoked. All of the plans are coming together. As they say, Lord willing, the creek don't rise. We're going to all gather together on the 29th. But you must RSVP by July 8th. Thank you so much, Jasmine. You must RSVP. And you can bring a +1. So again, if you want to bring boo, bet. If you want to bring your homegirl, cool. Fellas, you want to bring wifey, come through. Like, it's great. Like, everyone is welcome. I just want to celebrate. I'm turning 50, y'all. Never would have made it. Y'all know I can't sing. But we gonna bless the Lord and dance a little bit and eat real good. So I'm excited and I want you to celebrate with me. So RSVP and get your outfit ready because I want you to look cute too for all the pictures. So I'm going to go. Thank you for hanging out with me. I love you guys. I'm home now. As Drea just said, I'm telling you, I literally walked in my house at 5:55 and hurry up and got it together so I could pop on. So thank you for hanging out with me. I'm about to go work out and then I'm going to sleep. And I love you guys. I will see you next time. I actually might pop on to do another little video real quick because I meant to do it last week and I didn't. Anyway, this is already long. All right. I love you guys. Be blessed. Dr. S. I'll talk to you later. Bye.